We going live. We finna show y'all what's going on with Doge, man. Big interview right here. Gonna make a lot of people happy. A lot of people happy. Check it out.
Doing this, I know there's a lot of interest in this. First let me start with you, Eli. What are the budgetary savings goals, and how much do you think you've achieved so far?
Our goal is to reduce the deficit by $1 trillion. From a nominal deficit of 2 trillion to try and cut the deficit in half to 1 trillion. Or looked at it in total federal spending to drop the federal spending from 7 trillion to 6 trillion. We want to reduce the spending by eliminating waste and fraud, reduce the spending by 15%, which seems really quite achievable. The government is not efficient, and there's a lot of waste and fraud. So we feel confident that a 15% reduction can be done without affecting any of the critical government services.
I'm going to talk to all the guys.
You heard what he said. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? So all that, what the Democrat Party been lying to y'all about, he's saying that the job that he's doing with him and these dudes right here, he's saying that he can make this happen without messing with none of the stuff what the Democrat Party been talking about. Social Security, any check that you get. So stop falling for it, man. You're hearing it from the horse's mouth, man.
And talk to all the guys here about the specifics, but for you, what's the most astonishing thing you've found out in this process?
The sheer amount of waste and fraud in the government. It is astonishing. It's mind-blowing. We routinely encounter wastes of $1 billion or more, casually. For example, like the simple survey that was $1 billion for a simple online survey. Do you like the national park? And then there appears to be no feedback with what will be done with that survey. So the survey will just go to nothing. It's like a good thing.
You technically are a special government employee, and you're supposed to be 130 days. Are you going to continue past that, or do you think that's what you're going to do? Or?
Well, I think we will have accomplished most of the work required to reduce the deficit by $1 trillion within that time frame.
So in that time frame, 130 days. And the process is a report.
130 days, man. And y'all crying? Y'all crying to have more money in your pockets? Y'all letting the Democrat Party that been ripping us off for all these years, when we've been crying, saying we know they stealing the money, now we finding out they stealing the money? Come on, man. We finna hear from the horse's mouth tonight, y'all. Y'all share this live, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Stop playing, man. We finna get it real and raw right here tonight.
Some point at 100 days?
Not really a report. We are cutting the waste and fraud in real time. So every day that passes, our goal is to reduce the waste and fraud by $4 billion a day, every day, 7 days a week. And so far we are succeeding.
And I'm going to talk to the specifics, but they're
$4 billion every day. Say, so far we succeeding. Get that money, Eli. Get that money. Get that American money back, boy. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. Y'all playing, man. Y'all keep believing. Y'all keep believing CNN. Y'all keep believing him, man. The man right here in your face, man. National TV. I wonder what they gonna say about this. See, y'all get it confused. Everything that they do to help us, they go against it. You know why? I'm gonna give you a name. Soros.
There obviously are Doge critics who are reading all kinds of stuff. Obviously, lawmakers on the other side of the aisle are attacking you, and they characterize the approach as this: fire, ready, and then aim. And how do you approach that? How do you respond to that?
Well, I do agree that we actually want to be careful in the cuts. So we wanted to measure twice, if not thrice, and cut once. Actually, that is our approach. They may characterize it as shooting from the hip, but it is anything but that. Which is not to say that we don't make mistakes. If we were to approach this with the standard of making no mistakes at all, that would be like saying someone in baseball's got to bat 1,000. That's impossible. So when we do make mistakes, we correct them quickly, and we move on.
Some people say this shouldn't take a rocket scientist. Steve Davis, you are a rocket scientist.
Yes.
Yeah, and now essentially you're the chief operating officer of Doge, day-to-day operations. Fair to say?
Yeah, you're part of the Doge team.
So how did you end up here? What's the biggest challenge you see?
The reason I'm here, which is probably for many, is that I think the goal is incredibly inspiring. I think most of the taxpayers in the country would agree that in order to have the country going bankrupt would be a very bad thing, and therefore the country going not bankrupt is a good thing. That all of us are willing to kind of put our lives on hold in order to do. I think the thing that's special right now is we actually believe there's a chance to succeed. That there's an administration that's supportive and a great cabinet and just a great group that will actually make success a possible outcome. And I think that's, given the inspiring mission and given the non-zero chance of success, it was worth doing.
And I just like to sort of reemphasize that point. The success of Doge is only possible with President Trump and with the SNC.
This got to work, man. Y'all already know what's going on. Wait till we get to the end. Watch what he said then. We can't keep letting the Democrats keep lying to us, man. The man on national TV right now in the flesh.
That he selected. It would be impossible without the support of the president and the cabinet.
But you're finding the money. I mean, it's big numbers, right?
Yeah, like Neil said, the minimum impulse bid is often $1 billion. So for example, the $830 million, which was the online survey, that's an enormous amount of money that wouldn't have been found if the Doge team wasn't working with it, in that case the Department of Interior. But then taking it one step further, Doge then publishes these things on our website for maximum transparency. So now the general public, it would have been impossible for the general public to have seen that. Now anyone can just log into Doge.gov anytime and see these payments. As they're not yet in real time, they're close, but they'll probably be in real time within the next few weeks.
But the process, it still involves Congress, right? At some level?
We're trying to.
Look at here. All you people that's leftist, that's tripping. I already know, man. I know that your professors at the school and your teachers in your high school, I know all of them work together to manipulate your mind. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you like this here. It's okay, you know what I'm saying, when you been tricked. You know what I'm saying? You know, you so far out there, you know what I'm saying? But you can go back, because guess what people gonna say? Oh, you finally woke up. You know what I'm saying? Now, this man here is on national TV, and he explaining exactly what's going on. Now, I don't know about y'all, but me, you think this man here, right? Listen. You think this man here worth $700 billion, getting people out of space. You know what I'm saying? got all these companies, and you think this man he go mess his whole reputation up to throw all that away? Do you believe that, man? Just think about what I'm saying, man. It's like common sense. It's like, you know, sometimes you got to put yourself in people's shoes, man. You can't be thinking because, you know what I'm saying, you ain't never had the money. And you be like, well, he rich. And he don't care nothing about nobody. But you got to think about, put yourself in this man's shoes, man. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. You really ain't got to do this. You just doing this because you feel like you helping the American people. You know what I'm saying? You got to put yourself in this man's shoes, dog. I just need y'all to understand, man. It's crazy that after all these people don't voted, man, for this man to be in the White House. And all these listen, just like I said when I said these kids done been bamboozled, guess what? They've been working this for a while, man, because all them people that's crying, talking about he a threat to democracy, we need to look at what they do, man. Straight just like that, because it's a lot of games being played, man. I would listen to a brother talking about on a podcast, talking about New York educational system. He say the principal assistant make six figures. Now let's and he say he got to buy all the stuff for his kids in the school. Come on, man.
Congress as informed as possible, but if the law does say that money needs to be spent correctly, it should not be spent fraudulently or wastefully. It's not contrary to Congress to avoid waste and fraud. It is consistent with the law and consistent with Congress, and we've seen actually great support, at least from the Republican side of the House, and occasionally some Democrats too. It's nice to see people cross the aisle once in a while, but usually when they attack Doge, they never attack any of the specifics. So they'll say what we're doing is somehow unconstitutional or legal or whatever. We're like, well, which line of the cost saving?
Listen what he's saying now. Please listen to what the man's saying, man. Just listen. You ain't got to like the man, but just listen what he's saying, what the left doing, bro. Why would this man with all this money, why would he steal from us, man? Listen to what he's saying that the left do to manipulate y'all minds to think that he's trying to do something to harm the American people. Listen.
Disagree with, and they can't point to any. And we list them all on Doge.gov and the Doge handle on X. And you'll see just outrageous things, one outrageous thing after another.
Joe Gagnon, besides Elon, you're one of several billionaires here, co-founder of Airbnb, and you wanted to
co-founder Airbnb. All you people that work for Airbnb, you know, they were saying that in 2025 that they was going to shut down Airbnb. You know what I'm saying? Said it would make more sense for you to go to a nice motel than an Airbnb. The percentage that was going to put on the owners on Airbnbs. But this guy here, he don't got close with Trump and Elon. So all you people that got Airbnbs, man, y'all need to be standing up right now, happy, cause that man ain't putting his work in for nothing. He trying to keep the Airbnb game going strong. You feel me? So y'all keep playing these games. Y'all keep playing these games. So all you Airbnb lovers, you know what I'm saying? I need y'all to cheer this one on right here, man. This the Airbnb, man, the founder of Airbnb. Let's hear what he got to say.
I bumped into Anthony and Elon probably back in February, and they told me something about a mine that was dealt with retirement. And
You heard he say bumped into him in February. That's the time when he saved the Airbnb industry. Let's give him a cheer for that. And applause. Oh yeah, let's do that for bro.
help out to fix retirement in the government. I love the challenge, so I jumped on board. And it turns out there is actually a mine in Pennsylvania that houses every paper document for the retirement process in the government. Now picture this. This giant cave has 22,000 filing cabinets, stacked 10 high to house 400 million pieces of paper. It's a process that started in the
all that money that we give the government, and they ain't got that right. Do y'all see what's going on, man? Do y'all see that there, man? Do y'all see that 1980s them going in the police station looking for files? Y'all see this bull crap? Come on, man. Listen what the man said they gonna be able to do for us, man.
season largely hasn't changed in the last 70 years. And so as he dug into it, we found retirement cases that had so much paper, they had to fit it on a shipping pallet. So the process takes many months, and we're going to make it just many days.
Will it be digitized or how?
Yeah, absolutely. So this will be an online digital process that will take just a few days at most. And I really think, it's an injustice to civil servants who are subjected to these processes that are older than the age of half the people watching your show tonight. So we really believe that the government can have an Apple Store-like experience, beautifully designed, great user experience, modern systems.
Because right now it's
This is why it's very important that you get that mentality about being in spaces where you don't think you belong, because this is how I feel, right? A lot of us got smart children. And the order for our children to thrive, we got to put them in spaces where they can thrive. And that's why it's so important for us to get this reading and get this learning, you know what I'm saying, back in order, man, because, out of 40 countries, we're number 40. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad. So if we number 40 and we don't do nothing about the Department of Education, that don't spend like, I think $2 to $3 trillion in the last decades, and we don't fell up 40 last and we number first in feeding the kids, I want y'all to just think about what I'm saying, man. If we number 40, how we go get our children? The children that they saying that they fighting for, the children that they saying that they care about so much, but they failing. And y'all know y'all children, y'all know y'all grandchildren, y'all know boy that boy can't read. You don't need to get him there, he can't read. But y'all think these people lying, man.
Yes, the retirement process is all by paper, literally with people carrying paper in manila envelopes into this gigantic mine.
So they can't retire more than a certain number every month?
Yes.
About 8,000 a month.
That's how the reason we discovered it was we were saying like, well, let's encourage voluntary retirement. That's well, most you could do is 8,000 a month, and even under normal circumstances, it can take 6 to 9 months just to have your retirement paperwork processed, and they often get the calculations wrong. They're like, well, why would it take so long to retire? And they're like, well, because of the mine. They're like, what do you mean a mine? What's a mine got to do with retiring? And that's where we discovered that all the retirement stuff is still done by paper in a process that looks identical to what occurred in the 1950s. Like we took a snapshot of the mine when it first started in the 50s to today, it looks the same.
It's amazing. So how long do you think it'll take to turn over?
We're working as fast as we can. Probably next couple of months we'll have this overhauled. And, I really think, again,
Next couple of months, have that thing overhauled. So what I'm getting up out of this here, man, what they saying they're gonna make the retirement age earlier? I don't know now. Let's see.
are we subjecting our federal workers to processes that they actually have to go through a training just to retire from the government? There's a whole training program that people have to go through in order to retire. I think we can do better for them.
Aram Moganasi, Doge engineer. You go into these places, one of the more than a dozen engineers, first people to go into the agencies and view the computer data sets. Tell me what you're finding, and for people who don't understand how that process works, explain it.
Yeah. I'll say the first thing that got me really excited about Doge was learning basically the state of government computers. By some estimates, government IT costs about $100 billion, and it's...
Listen, I think this is an amazing idea, man. I think we're going to be great. I think this country is going to be thriving. They're saying right now, they say over 500,000 people. Bill Maher, he actually said it. Over 500,000 people done moved up out of blue states. They're coming down to Florida. They're coming all over the place. And the only thing I'm trying to do is take care of my family. I see what's coming. I know what's coming. Only thing I have to do is create something that I can take care of my family. Over 500,000 people leaving blue states. Right now as we speak, people moving.
systems that are over 50 years old, in the case of something like Social Security or the IRS. So really critical systems are old, they cost a lot of money to maintain, and they can be, the efforts to improve them are often very delayed. So I thought I'm a software engineer that maybe can make a difference here, and that's really what inspired me at a high level.
There's a lot of mystery about Social Security and a lot of words about it from, here's what Democrats have been saying about it.
It's absurd that Elon Musk is trying to eliminate billions of dollars from Social Security.
Elon Musk and President Trump have set their sights on cutting Social Security.
Their goal is clear.
Let's hear what he got to say now. Let's hear. Don't run. Don't run. When you look at this video, when you see what he say, don't you run. I need you to subscribe. Go ahead, share the video, and like the video. You feel what I'm saying? Just like that. Because I'm giving you the truth. Truth and facts with Banks.
Destroy Social Security from within.
You're in the building. I mean, you're in the computers. What's happening there? What are you doing?
Yeah, it doesn't line up with my experience on the ground. And I'll say the two improvements that we're trying to make to Social Security are helping people that legitimately get benefits, protecting them from fraud that they experience every day on a routine basis, and also make the experience better. And I'll give you one example is at Social Security, one of the first things we learned is that they get phone calls every day of people trying to change direct deposit information. So when you want to change your bank account, you can call Social Security. We learned 40% of the phone calls that they get are from fraudsters.
40%.
That's right. Almost half.
Yes, and they steal people's social security is what happens. Is they call in, they say, they claim to be a retiree, then they convince the social security person on the phone to change where the money's flowing. It actually goes to some fraudster. This is happening all day, every day. And then somebody doesn't receive their social security, it's because of all the fraud loopholes in the social security system.
How do you reassure people that what you all are doing is not going to affect their benefits?
No, in fact, what we're doing.
Listen. Please. Listen.
Will help their benefits. Legitimate people, as a result of the work of Doge, will receive more Social Security, not less. I want to emphasize that. As a result of the work of Doge, legitimate recipients of Social Security will receive more money, not less money.
All right.
I want to emphasize that point, and let the record show that I said this, and it will be proven out to be true. Let's check back on this in the future.
So, Washington Post, the Social Security Administration website crashed 4 times in 10 days this month because the servers were overloaded, blocking millions of retirees and disabled veterans from logging into their online accounts. Freaked people out. Is that going to change?
Yes, we're going to make sure that the website stays online.
Yeah. I mean, but is it a result of going in there or something you're doing?
The amount of issues that with the Social Security system are enormous. As an example, there are over 15 million people that are over the age of 120 that are marked as alive in the Social Security system.
And that's an accurate figure.
Yeah, correct.
15 million.
This has been something that's been identified as a problem. They've got pre-existing problems since 2008 at least from an IG report. So there were some great people working in Social Security Administration that found this 2008, and nothing was done. And so 15 to 20 million Social Security numbers that were clearly fraudulent were floating around that can be used only for bad intentions. There's no way to use this for good intentions. And so one of the things the Doge team is doing is carefully and very methodically looking at those and making sure that any fraudulent ones are eliminated.
Brad Smith, working at HHS, and obviously another element is Medicare and Medicaid, NIH. What do you find?
Yeah, well, I'd say there's a couple of things we're really committed to in our work at HHS.
Listen what he's finding, man. Stop listening to them Democrats lie to you, man. Listen to what the people find. Don't run.
One, making sure we continue to have the best biomedical research in the world. And number two, making sure, which President Trump has said over and over again, that we 100% protect Medicare and Medicaid. But there's a lot of opportunity. So if I take NIH as an example, today, if you're an NIH researcher and you get a $100 grant.
You heard what he say? Trump say protect Medicaid and Medicare at all costs. While they telling you they trying to take your Medicaid and Medicare, he telling them to save it at all costs. So y'all keep playing these games and listening to them people that got these education and getting paid millions of dollars. But y'all won't listen to me? Get for real, man. Truth and facts with banks, with the knowledge.
University. Today, you get to spend 60 of that, and your university spends 40 of that. The policy that we're proposing to make is that you get to spend 85 of that, and your university spends 15. So that's more money going directly to the scientists who are discovering new cures. Another example at NIH is today they have 27 different centers that got created over time by Congress, and they're typically by disease state or body system. There's 700 different IT systems today at NIH.
700 different IT systems.
IT software systems. They can't speak to each other.
So they don't talk about
They
it.
have 27 different CIOs. And so when you think about making great medical discoveries, you have to connect the data.
Time out. You said 27 different chief information officers?
Correct.
And most of them are non-technical.
So there's a lot there. So
There's a lot of opportunity. It will make science better, not worse.
Yes, and when I say that our job is tech support, I really mean it.
Yeah.
We have to fix the computers. If the computers can't talk to each other, you can't get research done. If the computers can't stay online.
We got to listen, man. We got to let these people do what they're doing, man. See, well, I want y'all to understand this right here. They already done destroyed the man. That's why so many of y'all hate the man. And he proven time and time again that everything that they saying about him is bullshit. Right? Now, we already know how people is, man. You understand what I'm saying? But he hung with the hardest of them. The biggest of scammers. You feel what I'm saying? Not saying that he a scammer, but he hung with the biggest of scammers. So he knows scammers. He know what's going on. He know the play. Don King, when he was young, just imagine. He round Trump young. Come on, man. He got some years on Trump, though. But other than that, listen, man. Let these people do what they got to do. This man here cannot stand to fail. If y'all listen to the things that he say out of his mouth, the haters, what they say, all he want to do is win. He just want to be in front of all the accolades. He this and that, da-da-da. So why would that person fail you when he telling you he gonna get you more money? Y'all got to use your head, man. Common sense. It's impossible for that to happen. This man, they already telling you the left. They telling you how they feel. They telling you that he want to be known for all the credit, and that's what he working for. Because they working so hard to destroy his name. You feel what I'm saying? Check it out.
Or receive their Social Security. So what we have here are a bunch of failing computer systems that are preventing people from receiving their benefits, that are preventing people from preventing research from happening, that are extremely vulnerable to fraud, and we're fixing it.
And does that include AI? Does that include kind of changing the system overall? That's, I guess, what people are afraid of, because they don't know what this is all looking like, and is it going to affect me in the long term?
It's going to affect them. It's going to affect people very positively. So the changes that we're doing here will ensure the solvency of the American government, of the American.
You heard what he said? Positive. Come on, man. Y'all got to stop this madness, man. Y'all got to stop it.
Of the United States of America. This is what we're trying to do, is ensure that people do receive their benefits in the future. And you can only receive your benefits if the country is operating in a healthy and competent way.
Up next, how the Doge team plans to streamline some federal jobs and agencies. And later, Elon Musk answers some of your questions that you asked via X. Anthony Armstrong, Doge, Office of Personnel Management, you're Morgan Stanley banker, M&A guy.
Yeah.
You know, money, and this is a lot of money sloshing around.
There's a lot of money sloshing around. There's a lot of money sloshing out the door. And if you look at the federal government and the way the workforce works, it's really a one-way ratchet over decades.
It's only going up.
It's only going up. You never take it away. So that leaves you with duplicative functions. It leaves you with overstaffing, and it leaves you with functions in the wrong places. So a couple of examples. Duplicative functions. Brad mentioned 27 CIOs. If you kept going with Brad, he would talk about the communications office, and you've got 40 distinct communications offices in HHS, right?
40?
Yeah, and that's not unusual, by the way, and multiple offices like that.
It's not making anyone healthy.
This is not about the employees. There's been many hardworking, well-meaning people who took these jobs. These jobs are out there. They applied for them. They took them. They're doing what's there. It's just that they're duplicating the effort of 40 offices. So you've got that. You've got overstaffing. A good example of overstaffing would be the IRS has got 1,400 people who are dedicated to provisioning laptops and cell phones. So if you join the IRS, you get a laptop and a cell phone, you're provisioned. So if each of those IRS officers or employees provisioned 2 employees per day, you could provision the entire IRS in a little more than a month. So 12 times a year, you
Doesn't
can
make any sense. Why would
re-provision.
you have 1,400 people whose only job it is to give out a laptop and a phone?
Right. The whole IRS could be handled once a month. So that doesn't make any sense. And President Trump's been very clear: scalpel, not hatchet, and that's the way it's getting done. And then once those decisions are made, there's a very heavy focus on being generous.
I have a feeling, just what I feel, man. I feel that everything go pop off to greatness, and that's when I'm gonna blow up. That's when my YouTube go blow up, because people will be like, "Man, that man, he was on time. He know what was going on," and everybody else that's on this lane go blow up, and all them people that's with that negativity, that's talking crazy, it's gonna be over with for them. I'm telling you right now.
Caring, being compassionate, and treating everyone with dignity and respect. And if you look at how people have started to leave the government, it is largely through voluntary means. There's a voluntary early retirement, there's voluntary separation payments. We put in place deferred resignation, the 8-month severance program. So there's a very heavy bias towards programs that are long dated, that are generous, that allow people to exit and go and get a new job in the private sector. And you've heard a lot of news about risks, about people getting fired. At this moment in time, less than 0.15, not 1.5, less than 0.15 of the federal workforce has actually been given a RIF notice.
So they're selected if they're leaving.
It is
Basically, almost no one's gotten fired. That's what we're saying.
Tom Crass, working at Treasury, you are having access to the payment system, oversees all the outgoing payments. Essentially, those payments were going places we didn't know where they were going, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the case, Brett. As an ex-CFO of a big public tech company, really what we're doing is
Well, they got some real people. They got some real people working to save our money, man. I think these people gonna be heroes one day, boy. I think they working to be heroes one day. People say they done left their wives and everything to come do this. You know what I'm saying? To save the American people. You already know they looking out for themselves, man. That's common sense. If you was doing it, you'd be looking out for yourself too. But at the same time, they gonna make it right for everybody. You feel me? Y'all got it, man. Tighten up, man. Y'all don't feel it? Do y'all feel it, man? They gonna make it right for everybody, man. I'm telling you. Them people is not finna leave up out of that Doge failing us, bro. They say they trying to have something funky and ready in 120 days, man. Come on, man.
public company standards to the federal government. And it is alarming how the financial operations and financial management is set up today. There's actually really only one bank account that's used to disperse all monies that go out of the federal government.
One bank account.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. It's a big one. A couple weeks ago, it had $800 billion in it, but it's the Treasury General account. So when you hear, some of my colleagues here, what they're talking about in terms of the fraud, you have to ask, well, why is this allowed to happen at a financial level? Well, it's actually quite simple but alarming. The Treasury, up until now, thanks to President Trump, we're fixing this. In fact, there's an executive order that he just signed the other day, which is protecting America's bank account, because it really is the taxpayers' money. One, we're changing the culture. The culture is been not a lot of caring.
You heard what he said? It really is the taxpayers' money. See, they understand that, man. They understand that. Do you hear? You heard that one guy, he was up there yelling when it first popped off. He was saying, our money. You know what I'm saying? These people right here that's saving your money, saying it's the taxpayer money. He understand that. He a taxpayer. You feel me? But he just a smart man. Representing. So we gotta congratulate this here, man. These people on national TV, man. These people got families, man. Kids. They ain't go blow the bag like that, them, man. You wanna be a proud parent to go play, have your kids grow up and be able to say your name with pride. And say, you know what? Yeah, your dad is the one that saved America, man. That's what these people fighting for, man. You can't get no greater opportunity than this right here, man. You just can't. It's impossible. This right here is like that big medal they get when at the White House. That's like the big key to the city. Huh? Come on, man.
And not a lot of commitment to doing what's right relative to financial operations. There's a $500 billion of fraud every year. There's hundreds of $billions of dollars in improper payments, and we can't pass it on. The consolidated financial report is produced by Treasury, and we cannot pass it on. We have material weaknesses. What that means is that if I was a public company CFO, I would effectively be removed. I couldn't file financial statements. I couldn't issue securities.
This is how they handling our money, man. This is how they're handling our money, bro. Listen to what this man's saying. We supposed to be in the same feeling, the same emotion that he's giving out right now. That's how we supposed to be feeling.
That's not right. The federal government cannot pass protection orders. It's impossible. In fact, in order to pass an order, you need the information that's going to pass an order. You need to have the payment codes, you need to have the payment explanation, and you need to have a person you can contact to understand why that payment was made. None of those things were mandatory until just recently, just a few weeks ago. In fact, maybe last week.
Yeah, we're serving 580 plus agencies, and up until very recently, effectively they could say make the payment, and Treasury just sent it out as fast as possible. No verification. And so what we're doing is what any household would do. But imagine you're a household, you have a...
Listen what he's saying. He said, imagine you're a household. All of us got households. Listen what he's saying. Imagine your household. He's talking about our household. Listen, these people getting money and sending it out, bro. Sending it out. Only thing the people saying they need, and they sending it out. Come on, man.
Everyone has an ATM card connected to that account. Everyone has a checkbook connected to that account. It's not just your children. It's not just your parents. It's your in-laws. It's your extended family. And they all can go to the account and disperse funds.
You heard what he said? You heard what that man said, man? He said that you can go Just imagine that your family, your whole family, your extended family and all, can just go to the bank and just start withdrawing any kind of money they want to get. That's how they got it set up there with our money. Come on, man.
That's no justification, no verification.
Up next, the Doge team targets government contracts, and we'll show you what they're finding. Tyler Hassan, Interior Department. You're a former oil company CEO. You're reviewing contracts before they're approved for funding. What are you finding?
Well, Elon and Steve kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but I actually found that customer service survey contract. I actually have an example of one right here. I could have done this in high school. And I found it that bad.
Were they trying to talk? And the people said they could have done that in high school, man.
Because under the Biden administration, there was no departmental oversight within the Department of Interior whatsoever. None. We even now.
I personalized the outer packaging of the coffee and I made a TikTok. When I went viral, I had over 1,200 orders and over $25,000 in sales. Had it not been for TikTok, Cafe and Pros would not be around today.
Reviewing every single contract, every single grant, and when things come to my attention that don't make sense, I'm bringing them to Secretary Burgum, and he's been fantastic. He's a businessman. He's very supportive of Doge. It's been wonderful to work with him.
Is the battle between government of decades and decades of buildup and business, which you guys are, is that like a train hitting each other? I mean, it seems like it's pretty disruptive.
Well, this is a revolution, and I think it might be the biggest.
I told you, man. Said it's a revolution. I told y'all, bro. These people gonna try to be stars, man. They finna save the world, bro. This man here finna save the world, bro.
The government since the original revolution. But at the end of the day, America is going to be in much better shape. America will be solvent. The critical programs that people depend upon will work. And it's going to be a fantastic future. But are we going to get a lot of complaints along the way? Absolutely. One of the things I learned from PayPal was that you know who complains the loudest and with the most amount of fake righteous indignation? The fraudsters.
You heard what he said? You finna talk about Stacey Abrams right here. You heard what he said, right? He said the one that's talking the loudest, that's crying the most, they're the ones that's ripping us off. Listen.
Hell. These NGOs that are crazy, like the $2 billion to Stacey Abrams NGO that basically didn't exist, and somebody gets $2 billion awarded from the federal government. Just why? And there are many such cases like that.
I think that most people, common sense-wise, would say the fraud's got to end.
Yeah.
They're concerned about the 94-year-old mother who skips a check or somehow doesn't get what she's supposed to get.
Right. And what we're trying to say is actually that the 94-year-old grandmother is actually, as a result of Doge's work, going to get her check. She's not going to be robbed by fraudsters like she's getting robbed today. And the solvency of the federal government.
You heard it out the horse's mouth. He's going to get that money, man. Make sure your mama's straight. Make sure the Fosters don't get your mama no more. But that's what y'all don't want, bro. That's what y'all don't want. That's why y'all crying.
She continues to receive those Social Security checks. That Medicare continues to work. Without which we're all doomed. And the reason we're doing this is because if we don't do it, America's going to go insolvent, going to go bankrupt, and nobody's going to get anything.
Why are you guys all doing it? I mean, you can pipe up, but you don't have to be here, right? I mean, you don't have to be doing this.
I have four beautiful children, my wife and I. But we have a real fiscal crisis. And
See? Y'all playing, man. And y'all letting them dumbass people tell y'all all this bullshit. Come on, man.
Not sustainable. And what's worse, back to my children and everyone else's children, is worried about burdening them with that debt. And it's only going to grow.
Steve, there's not a lot of hierarchy here. You guys are kind of all approaching it in different, silos, but with the same kind of goal, right? I mean, this is really Silicon Valley, private sector colliding with government.
Yeah, exactly. We're headed in a bad path, but the chance of success, it exists. And just the one that just is in my head right now, which is a fairly mundane one, but I think is very illustrative, is credit cards. There are in the federal government around 4.6 million credit cards for around 2.3 to 2.4 million employees. This doesn't make sense.
Right.
And so one of the things all of the teams have worked on is we've worked with the agencies and said, do you need all of these credit cards? Are they being used? Can you tell us physically where they are?
I hope they're getting frequent flyers.
Actually, the rewards program the federal government has is actually not very good. But that's a whole other negotiation, right? Yeah, exactly. But so far the teams have worked together and they've reduced it from 4.6 million to 4.3 million. So we're taking it easy.
Yeah, but clearly there should not be, more. There should not be more credit cards than there are people.
Yeah. Joe, middle-level employees, are they seeing a benefit to being empowered by taking out bureaucracy? I mean,
absolutely. I mean, I think what you're seeing is taking the best of Silicon Valley and the business world and bringing it into the government. We're bringing the best practices and the best methodologies, and people are inspired, right? Especially on the retirement process, which I can speak to. They've been trying to modernize and get off of paper since the early 2000s, very unsuccessfully. Every attempt has gone over budget and been canceled because it hasn't been successful. And so, I showed up and I feel like I'm here because it's an interesting problem. We can use design to solve it and good engineering and really create a better experience for everybody.
We're talking about elementary financial controls that are necessary for any company to function. So, like, if the federal government, if a commercial company operated the way the federal government does, then it would be immediately go bankrupt. It would be delisted, the auctions would be arrested. The changes we're putting in place will enable the federal government to pass an audit. It will enable taxpayers to know where the money is going and know that their hard-earned tax dollars are being spent well. But the ways that the government is defrauded is that the computer systems don't talk to each other. So if computer systems don't talk to each other, then you can exploit that gap and fraudsters exploit that gap to take advantage. If, for example, there were over $300 million of Small Business Administration loans that has been given out to people under the age of 11.
Well, blockchain to add, it's 300 million under the age of 11 and over 300 million to over the age of 120.
Definitely
small business loans.
Right. Yes. The oldest American is 114. So it's safe to say if their age is 115 or above, they're paid. Or they should be in the Guinness Book of World Records. And we should not be giving out loans to babies. So the youngest recipient of a Small Business Administration loan.
Man, we already know where that shit coming from right there, dog. Now I'm seeing what's going on now, dog. I'm seeing what's going on now. I see what's going on now, boy. We know what's going on with that shit there, boy. Boy, I tell you like this here, boy, them people coming, boy. You hear me? Them people coming, dog.
The 9-month-old, which is a very, very precocious baby we're talking about here. So obviously it was just fraudulent. And they do terrible things. They actually will see that a kid's been born. They will steal that kid's social security number and then take out a loan and leave that kid with a bad credit rating. There's literally a baby. The terrible things are being done, is what we're saying.
And how
we're stopping these terrible things.
And you can stop it? I mean,
well, we are stopping
it. They go stop it. They go stop it. And I'm here for it. If Congratulations to the Doge team. That man right there finna talk look like Rick Scott.
The two systems are not talking to each other.
Yes.
Right, and so you don't know at the Small Business Administration that you're giving a loan to a 9-month-old, which happened in my case, because you're not cross-referencing that with the Social Security Administration data that has birth dates. So that very, very simple fix eliminates tremendous fraud. And that there are multiple systems across the government where the systems are not speaking with one another. And if you just solve that simple problem, you would solve a huge amount of fraud.
One of the key tricks that the fraudsters pull is that they will use the fact that someone is marked as live, as sort of just that Social Security number is marked as live in Social Security, and then get disability and unemployment insurance for a dead person. Because the databases don't talk to each other, all they got was from Social Security is like, is this person alive? Yes, they're not alive. It's falsely marked. Person is falsely marked as alive. Social Security. But that fraudster can now get unemployment and disability from a dead person. This is happening all the time at scale.
Are you surprised at some of the legal efforts and some of the judges that have weighed in? There's about 8 or 10 now of these cases that are at least temporary holds. They're being challenged by the DOJ.
Right.
So, man, listen, that fraud there, I ain't never heard that fraud before. So they saying that they telling the government they trying to get a check from the government, but they denied, but they still can go and get Medicaid and all that stuff there. You know, that can't be nothing but people from another country, bro. Cause how you going to the doctor and you're 100 and something years old and the doctor ain't saying nothing. You know why he ain't saying nothing? Because you're going to a doctor that's from your country. That's why. That's exactly why.
Surprised by that pushback.
Well, the DC Circuit is notorious for having a very far left bias. And when you look at the people close to some of these judges, where are they working? Are they working at these NGOs? Are they getting them? They're the ones getting this money. Does that seem like a system that lacks corruption? Sounds like corruption to me.
Last thing, do you guys all see this as a patriotic duty? Is that really what this is about?
It's essential.
Right, I do, 100%. I was running 5 businesses in Houston, and I left that. I left great people to do this, and my wonderful wife said, "Go for it," and here I am. But I feel like this is me giving back to the country.
If we don't do this, we're sunk. Unless this exercise is successful, the ship of America will sink. That's why we're doing it.
Gentlemen, I really appreciate the time today, and hopefully it took some of the myth and mystery out of Doge and what's happening behind the scenes.
Thank you.
We asked OnAx, your platform, for some questions. And here is C. Sperling. He writes, are they happy with the speed at which they're making changes? Are there any changes they would like to make but haven't yet?
Well, I think in the context of the government, we're moving like lightning. In the context of what I'm used to moving, it's slower than I'd like. What seems like incredibly fast action by government standards is it's slower than I'd like, to be totally frank. But we're making solid progress. A very sort of thorny problem, a tough problem, really it's kind of like painful homework, frankly, is reconciling all of the government databases to eliminate the waste and fraud. These databases don't talk to each other, and that's really the source of that's the biggest vulnerability for fraud, is the fact that these databases don't talk to each other. So when you reconcile databases, it's a frankly painful homework, but it has to be done, and will greatly improve the efficiency of the government systems.
We didn't talk about any plans to approach cuts at the Pentagon.
It's going down, man. You're hearing it from the horse's mouth. When y'all hear this video, man, I need y'all to share it, like it, subscribe to the channel, bro. We got an hour right now.
You're in there.
Yeah, the Pentagon has not passed an audit in a very long time. And as crazy as it sounds, they will lose $20-30 billion a year, and they don't know where. They literally don't know where it went. I mean, Senator Collins was telling me about how she gave the Navy $12 billion for extra submarines, got 0 extra submarines, and then when she held a hearing, said, "Where'd the $12 billion go?" They didn't know.
Talking to those guys, and you have a great team from all over the country.
Did you hear that, man? Said the lady ordered 12 submarines. They paid the money for, they say they sent the money, so when she did a hearing asking about the money, they don't know where the money went at. Our money. That's why we messed up like we is, bro. That's why China got the kids getting picked up at their house with a train. One of them fast trains. I know y'all seen it, man. Come on, man.
To be here. You don't have to be here. You know, there's now been these many cases of violence and vandalism at Tesla dealerships. How does that affect your employees, your customers? What does it mean to you? Like, how have you taken that in?
Well, I think a great wrong is being done to the people of Tesla and to our customers. Tesla is a peaceful company that has made great cars, great products. That's all it's done. It hasn't harmed anyone. And yet people are committing violence. They're firebombing Tesla dealerships. They're shooting guns into stores. They're threatening people. They're issuing death threats against me and other Tesla personnel.
And that's sad. This is an American company. And y'all got the nerve to do that to an American company? That's sad, man. You got people that's from America, Democrats, that's working at this job.
What are they doing this for? Why? And what's happening, it seems to me, is they're being fed propaganda by the far left. And they believe it. It's really unfortunate. But the real problem is not the people. It's not like the crazy guy that firebombs a Tesla dealership. It's the people pushing the propaganda that caused that guy to do it.
The news media. The news media. Joy Reid, all them news medias. They the one got this country, and they the one got America in the uproar. The professors at the schools, the teachers, not all the professors, I can't say all the professors, but most professors, most teachers, they push this right here, what he's finna talk about. And that's why the country is like it is right now today, man. And they're the same people, just like the Democrats in the South back in the days. Check it out. Listen to what he's saying. They did all who, white, black, Spanish, back then, whoever didn't agree with them, what did they do? This is what they did right here.
Those are the real villains here. And we're going to go after them. And the president's made it clear we're going to go after them. The ones providing the money, the ones pushing the lies and propaganda, we're going after them.
And it's been this evolution. I mean, the last administration was going to mandate electric vehicles, and now you see on the far left some efforts to go after electric vehicles. It's quite something.
It is ironic. I mean, it seems like the most ironic outcome is the most likely. But Yeah, I mean,
Personally, it's gonna take a toll.
it does.
Yeah.
It does. I think there's some real evil out there. And we have to overcome it.
I mean, you have been called a Nazi, a white supremacist,
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking this dude here, man. To be honest with you, dog. I'm looking at Elon Musk, man. I'm thinking he. I guarantee he a Gothic fan. He look like he look like he want to pull that Batman thing off, man. He remind me of that right there, man. I promise you, dog. The way that he moving, I'm telling you, he trying to be like a superhero, bro. But without no cape and without no mask. Damn. That's how he moving, bro. That's how he moving. He moving just like that. Underground tunnel in New York to get through traffic. Man, he a real live that Batman dude. He the real deal, man. I'm telling you. I'm looking at his swag. I guarantee you, he growed up idolizing that there, man. I'm peeping his swag, man. He a superhero without a cape or a mask.
I mean, they've got that sort of the
just
normal
to name a
playbook.
few.
Yeah. I mean, they've still got it. They haven't. I guess they still need to call me Stalin, Mussolini, you know, whatever, Genghis Khan or whatever. I mean, they call the president all these things. I think at one point there was a magazine cover which said the president was worse than that President Trump was worse than Hitler, Mussolini, and Stalin combined. And the president hasn't killed anyone. He hasn't started any wars. In fact, he's good at stopping wars. So this is obviously they're pushing these lies. And why do they push these?
They push these lies because they think we're slow. They think we don't understand what's going on. But people waking up, but there's still a lot of people sleep. That's why we need you to prove them wrong. And I'm going to let them say this here, then I'm going to end this live.
And I think that we need to hold people responsible for pushing these lies. Because those lies almost got the president killed.
What's something that people wouldn't know about the president?
With that being said, I'm going to end this here, man. Truth.